The fishermen returned from Jambiani's lagoon with the tide. They've been out since the early morning. Now the 8 men divide up the meagre catch. The skipper is not at all pleased.
Today is bad luck because we get not a lot of fish.
Nassau uses drag nets with a fine mesh, but still comes up with only a handful of fish. They'll put out again tonight with the next tide. Stone Town is the old section of Zanzibar city. Here, the fishermen auction off what they brought up from the sea in the morning to the island's many hotels and restaurants. Mohammed Okala from Jambiani has also come to the city to sell what he harvests from the sea. He's been supplying the souvenir shops of Zanzibar city for over a year now.
14. Can you help me count here?
Yes. They're natural sea sponges, a popular gift item. They can be used as bath sponges. Christian Vatelaus of Switzerland had the idea. He met Mohammed Okala when he first came to Jambiani in 2003, and they started the Marine Cultures NGO. Both were already aware that the island's development had taken a dangerous turn.
Just people now, they are struggling just to search for the job. Some of them, they go into the bush to cut forest, these things which is not good, so more disasters coming. So in fact, communities, they don't have alternative way to solve the problem.
It all started when I was observing the women who farmed seagrass as they worked in the water. I thought it was good that they weren't just hunting and gathering, but actually growing something. That impressed me. But when I saw how much they were getting for their produce, I thought there must be a marine product people here can farm and earn a decent income with.
In a good month, Khadija Omar Ali and Nasiri Hassan Haji used to make around 27 euros from the seagrass. Now they can get almost as much for a single sponge. But they had to learn how to swim for their new crop. The sponge farms lie several hundred metres out from shore. 1 kilogram of sponges can pump through and filter 1 tonne of seawater per day.
Farming seagrass is very hard work. It's exhausting because you have to haul these wet sacks. And you never have to carry heavy loads with sponge farming.
Demand is brisk, greater than what the farms here can supply. But Marine Cultures had decided to farm sustainably. All the sponge explants come from their own production. It takes at least 1 year for one to grow big enough to be harvested.
Sea is like a land. If you harvest things without to plant, it means that the seed will be disappear. But if you just harvest and plant again, so it will be again and again and again.
Sea sponges have natural antibacterial properties, making them useful to people suffering from allergies or certain illnesses. They can even be sterilised. The sponge farmers clean and process the day's harvest at home.
When we take them out of the sea, they have to be processed and dried. Then we take them home and pick out the sand, shells, and little creatures that were dried inside them. And then we wash them out.
With proper care, a sea sponge can be kept for up to 20 years.
We had no idea there were people who used sponges to wash with. Now I'm using one myself.
Out on the lagoon, Marine Cultures is at work on an entirely new project. its first plantation for aquafarming coral.
We have an estimated 20 different species that we believe could be made into products for use in aquariums. And coral is relatively easy to cultivate. You just cut part of the coral off and attach it to a substrate. These cuttings are very similar to the explants used in sponge farming.
The next step might be to establish a protected area inside the lagoon. Then the coral could also be used to replenish natural coral stocks. Marine Cultures has already got some of the local fishermen on board for the idea. Moussa Jekavoué is working on a dima, a traditional fish trap.
First of all, we have to stop using these modern fishing methods. No more putting out at night, no more drag nets. And then we'll have to see if we can catch enough with our traps again. We have to change something.
Keeping the lagoon healthy and well stocked is a village effort.